This guide is to tell you why life is actually a video game and what this means for you as we plug in the cheat codes as I explain why you are actually living in a video game.
Play a video game.
What we call life is a big, complex, simulated game. And it looks bloody real, doesn't it? Of course it does. You don't know any different, do you? We all start with different stats that we call genetics, environment, and intelligence of the individual. For instance, if I'm born to parents who are millionaires, I have a better mark next to the resources part of my stats. But it may bring down my stat for resourcefulness, because when you're poorer, you have to find other ways to get by which bring your other stats up. And some of us just have 0 marks next to decency and decorum, but our stat for not giving a fuck is also high. A recent film based on a book called Ready Player One popularised, as films often do, the idea of human beings existing partially inside a video game, or what we now call the metaverse. In the film they call it the Oasis because you're forced to listen to Wonderwall all day. You're my Wonderwall. Jokes? It's a good song though. You exist in this oasis as a self-created avatar, which can be anything.
Tall, beautiful, scary, a different sex, a different species, live action, cartoon. It's all your call.
It's funny, but I don't play video games that much. I broke up with my video games console. Now it's my Xbox. It was nothing personal, just time for a switch. I asked my French friend if she played video games. She said oui. But look, it's not just Ready Player One. There's loads of films and books that have popularised the idea, like The Matrix, Total Recall, and even Black Mirror.
Okay, what do I do?
All right, they showed me in the store. You put the game chip in.
Done.
Now grab the disc doohickey and stick it upside your head. So brace yourself. 1. Whoa! Oh my God! Whoa!
This is crazy. What the fuck?
Danny, said you gotta brace yourself.
Carl?
Crazy shit, huh?
Jokes aside, the game of life is surprisingly simple. Life is designed in a way to give you the feeling that your life is governed by a large amount of randomness. It's designed that way. Otherwise, you would start to twig that life is either predetermined or not as organic as you once thought. This randomness gives rise to most people assuming they have no control over their life, so they give in to its whims. Oh, poor me, I'm such a sad little victim. Fine, you go do that. Away from me, preferably. Life is designed to continually throw difficult and unexpected problems at you. Your challenge is to overcome them one by one, just like a video game. You have missions and parameters in which you can move and operate, according to your stats. That's what makes this such an immersive bloody experience. It's funny, my girlfriend dumped me for talking too much about video games. It's a stupid thing to fall out for. When you chose to come here from wherever you were before, you may have decided on a difficulty level, hard mode or easy mode, or somewhere in the middle. If I put it simply, if you want to play on extra hard mode, then you'll probably be born into poverty and strife, disease and deprivation, which is shit. If you want to play on medium to easier mode, you'll likely be born into the West, or wherever you're watching this from. But it's still not easy, you just have a different and better quality of problem. When entering the game, you need to go through a 9-month spawn period, which I know sounds bloody awful, but the good thing is you don't know anything about it. It's not like you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs for 9 months, getting all claustrophobic. Then you've got about 18 or so levels of tutorials that we call school before you're allowed out into the real world. The bad thing about doing those 18 years of tutorials is that you are very bloody impressionable and likely believed almost everything you were told. I mean, you rebel against this when you get to about the 13th level, but as a side effect, you become a bit of an insufferable know-it-all prick, which can last well into your 20s if you're not careful. Now, welcome to level 18. Also, this is where you enter the real world. In the real world, there's two main objectives. Get money! Get money! Money! Get money! And two, get a partner.
Go play a video game.
You want to know the secret sauce to life? The goal of life is to level up. And once you overcome each challenge, yes, thank you. Once you overcome each challenge that you are sent, you get to play bigger levels, bigger challenges, bigger, better problems. The goal is to complete as many levels as possible. And each time you do, you accrue experience points.
According to Wikipedia, an experience point is a unit of measurement used in tabletop role-playing games and role-playing video games to quantify a player character's life experience and progression through the game.
Then, when you die, you go back to the arcade where you see all your old mates and you all wake up and you go, bloody hell, that was good fun, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a good old game, wasn't it? Yeah, you were my mother in that incarnation, that's funny, innit? Wasn't it, eh mate? What an interesting, oh, we're wearing the same shirt. Then you both look at the scoreboard to see who had the most experience points. A bit like this.
Here, check this out.
What the hell? Whoa, where am I?
55 years. Not bad, Morty. You kind of wasted your 30s, though, with that whole bird-watching phase.
Where's my wife?
Morty, you were just playing a game. It's called Roy. Snap out of it. Come on.
I mean, for God's sake, look how far we've come already with technology. If you don't believe in the simulation theory, that's fine. See my other video where we proved it.
And answering some questions that Stephen Hawking asked actually over 50 years ago, we've come to the conclusion, and I'll just say it out loud and I'll stop, that we might be holograms. That the universe might not be at all the way that we perceive it to
You're
be.
blowing my mind now, you see.
Look what mobile phones used to be just 20 years ago.
Good looking, stylish, very slim. Phenomenal memory, 22 hours staying power, and many, many other attractive features.
The phone!
I am, of course, referring to the amazing PP800. It's only $19.99 and it's exclusive to People's Phone.
Not only that, what about computers? Look how shit this looks.
You wouldn't catch me going up there. Aptiva. It's whatever you want. However, whenever, whyever you want it. It's the new PC.
Aptiva.
From IBM.
I like old adverts though, it's like getting wrapped up in a big lovely nostalgia blanket. And with the improvements of AI, VR and the singularity, we should have a fully functioning metaverse by about 2050 or bloody sooner, I hope. I would actually like to be around to flipping see it. Now, the next stage will be creating a reality that is indistinguishable to this world. Looks real, doesn't it? Well, it's not. Now think about what it will look like in 30 years. My theory is that up there in heaven or wherever we came from, before you enter into the game, you can map out an entire lifetime and then you enter into the game and play it out as the main character. The fun will come in writing this life as much as living it, like a screenplay that you will enter into and play as the main character. The next stage will be to forget who you are and play the entire lifetime out, forgetting who and what you are. Because life doesn't really work if you know it's all just a bloody game. Or you could say, I want to be Harry Potter and live an entire lifetime as a scrawny, specky little git, if you insist. Or you could be another clever, specky git, like Walter White. You could be him. You put the VR headset on, load up Breaking Bad, take your amnesia pill, and live his entire lifetime in one night. A bit like this.
Who the hell are you?
You all know exactly who I am.
I don't have a damn clue who the hell you are.
Yeah, you do. I'm the cook. I'm the man who killed Gus Fring.
Bullshit. Cartel got Frank.
You sure? That's right. Now, say my name.
Heisenberg.
You're goddamn right. What happens when your player, avatar, whatever, dies? Some people think there's nothing. Others think you respawn. More others think you stay as your character, but go to a better, brighter map. But only if you were good. Hello God, you alright mate? Have I been a good boy? The idea that your player will die is a horrible one because over time you can grow very attached to it and would miss its experiences. This is pure speculation, but it's my hypothesis that we are actually living in the future where everything has been done and all our needs are met. So, with all the problems removed from our life, thus it's very boring. So we strap in and enter another world, which we enter through a veil of amnesia. So we forget why we came here, into a world full of struggle and challenge, where we must fight to survive against evil antagonists who themselves are also playing the game. Because every single film or video game has an antagonist. That's someone who's being evil. It's a necessary evil. It gives you something to fight against. Otherwise, you'd just sit around in the Garden of Eden all day trying to find a new leaf to cover your privates. Still don't believe me? Well, why do you play video games? For fun, I hear you say? Yes, because most of the problems have been removed from our lives. Food sorted, too much of anything. Money? If you're watching this, you're likely comfortable-ish. Or you are at least in the top 5 to 10% of the world's richest people. So you have shelter, a phone, electricity, the internet. So things are kind of sorted for you. And so you need to enter a world to experience the problems that you cannot, to challenge and further yourself virtually. We are all players in this big video game, and I don't blame you for thinking I'm talking bollocks, because it looks and feels so goddamn real. But what is real?
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't...
Game. The game we call life is a constant struggle to overcome an endless supply of problems, which come in all shapes and sizes. The poor have problems, the rich have problems. You can level up and get a better quality of problem, but you will always have problems. The game we call life is a constant struggle to overcome an endless supply of problems. Problems are what keep us occupied and give our life meaning and are necessary to leveling up. Problems are the game of life's currency, and you have two choices when you face a problem. Number one, face it head on, come up with solutions. This is how you level up. Or number two, distract yourself from the problem. The latter can be very, very fun, but not as rewarding. Distraction is another word for procrastination. And all of us fall prey to this by doing literally anything except the task at hand. Drinking, shagging, trolling James Corden online because he's a fat idiot. Anything really to dull the pain of the problem. It's like being given a mission on Grand Theft Auto and then going straight to the titty bar, which you've done, haven't you? Distraction keeps us from leveling up. If our distraction becomes a habit, we get stuck on the level. And as humans, we commonly refer to this as being stuck in a rut. And you probably won't even know it because you're so hopelessly inured by the system that you carry on distracting yourself, never realising your potential as the kick-ass, mother-flipping greatest goddamn player you could have flipping been. So how do you become the best character in a video game? You put the hours in. You learn, grow, overcome missions, beat the boss levels, and complete all the side missions. The formula for winning at life is to correctly identify your distraction and eliminate them, and focus on the solutions to your problems. It's not sexy, it's not as much fun as going to the titty bar, but it will help you level up.
Play a video game.
Just because you level up doesn't mean you have no more problems, just a better quality of problem. For instance, if you become a millionaire, you lucky bastard, you're going to need to invest that, or the tax man is going to come and swipe his half. Better quality of problem, but a problem nonetheless. Where do you invest and what in? Is it trustworthy? Stocks, property, who do you trust with it? Will I lose it all? Here's a cheat code that you can use right now. Take responsibility for everything in your control. Confront every problem that you have face first. You'll be surprised what you can overcome with just this alone. Cheat code 2. Write down and journal your problems. It's surprisingly difficult. So you're going to need to know what you're distracting yourself with and what are you avoiding. I know it's sexy to pop pills and drink and chase birds, or men if you're a bird, and drink and go to therapy and play video games all day. But just the simple action of writing shit down allows you to realise what's important to you and make a bloody plan for getting it. Here's another. But I need my fags, drink, pills, whatever. What's the harm in playing video games all day? I need to overwork all day so I can do a job, earn loads of money, get a hot wife to impress everybody. These are the excuses I can hear dripping out of you, and I'm the other side of the screen. That little voice in your head that's making excuses is the grooves in the record of the habit that is calling you back to distraction. Stop making excuses, you whiny little bitch. Stop fantasizing or daydreaming about what could be. Fantasizing about being a pop star, rock star, or Hollywood bloody film star, playing in front of a massive crowd, is bloody tantalizing, but it doesn't help you. I know you do it though, don't you? Well, cut it out. It's another form of distraction. It creates an alternative reality where you are the star, and all those who have wronged you get to see what a genius you are, and how they're eating their words now, eh?
Yeah, I'm dead now. Yeah.
Fantasizing is a way of getting some accomplishment while laying in bed. That's some achievement, and not a good one. Listen, I get it. Life's hard. Do you really think I want to spend most of my day writing, filming, and editing? It takes me days, sometimes weeks, numerous hours of hard, intense work to make these videos for you, for free, when I could be playing video games. Why? Well, firstly, I enjoy it. Second, I'm leveling up by making stuff. My videos are getting objectively better. And thirdly, because I'm the wisest motherfucker this side of the Atlantic, and I think it's best I share that with the world.
Someone who is a maverick, someone who does that to the system.
Listen, use fantasies sparingly. They can be useful, but it's like smoking crack.
Tell you what, that crack is really Moorish.
Go play a video game.
Why is life so hard? The game of life is pretty hard. You already know that. So many things in life are like a mirage. You think you found the answer to something, and then just as you get to it after putting in all that hard work, it disappears and you feel like crying. That was the answer to all my pain and problems, you say. That person I wanted to go out with. That thing that was going to make me loads of money and solve all my problems. That's why you came here, Earth, because it's hard. Where you really come from, life is too bloody easy. That's why you're here to learn. Even if you become a millionaire, still a shortcut. There are certain things you just can't shortcut in this game. It's like rushing through the game to get to the final boss level. You've missed all of the side missions, and you've only completed about 50% of the game. But remember, the goal of life is not to win, but to learn, and to build up as many experience points as you can through facing the trials and tribulations of being a human being via the numerous problems that you will face. The better you get smashing through your problem, the more you level up and the more experience points you get. But unlike a computer game, you don't complete it and then you die. You die, then you are completed. Your avatar dies, but you carry on. take off the headset, go back up there in the heavens or 100 years into the future or wherever you really are or came from, bringing with you a full lifetime of experiences to carry with you. As Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. Good luck, player one.